Almost exactly a year ago, the footballing world heard news that many would have never thought even remotely possible. Lionel Messi wanting to leave Barcelona. Over the next several months, we would slowly see the club start to fall apart, from the heights of their glory and looking like a far cry from what they once were nearly a decade ago, leading us to now to what we thought was never possible. Lionel Messi finally departing from Barcelona, the only club he's ever known for the entirety of his professional life. We thought he would always be with the same club throughout his entire career, that he had the colors of Barcelona's red, blue, and maroon flowing through his blood. But as history would have it, the man who many believe to be the greatest ever has taken his talents to Paris. Let's take a look at how this all happened and what it means for the rest of the footballing world. Many of you watching right now, I'm sure, are very aware of the decline that's been happening to the once mighty FC Barcelona over the previous years. From being the most feared football club in the world not so long ago, to being on the butt end of jokes and memes on Twitter and Instagram. Even from someone like me who's never been a fan of FC Barcelona, it's kinda sad to see. And this video isn't gonna be about that. I've already talked about it in an entirely previous video, but I'm sure many of you are wondering, how could they have let go of the biggest player they've ever had? Well, let's take a look. Now, we all know Messi has shared his frustrations with the club in recent times, but not even the biggest Messi hater could deny just how important the club was for him. You wouldn't be honest with yourself if you said that the first thing that came to your mind when you thought of FC Barcelona wasn't Messi. Now, I'm sure many of you Barcelona fans are heartbroken. Anyone would if such a great player had left their club as well. And there are definitely many of you that are still confused or even in a state of shock or denial. Like seriously, you might be wondering, how could the god of Camp Nou just all of a sudden leave? Well, there certainly are a lot of factors. Messi's poor relationship with his past few managers, the overall decline of the club's performance, and a lack of development. But as I forgot to mention in my last video about Barcelona, really, one of the biggest problems was no other than Barcelona's president at the time, Josep Bartomeu. Really, he was the main cause of everything. You could boil all of it down to his terrible job as club president, failing to develop their young players, spending way too much money on useless transfers that didn't fit well with the team, getting rid of their veterans, and just overall had a terrible relationship with the staff and players. And on top of it all, he was just an overall terrible businessman. Now, I know for many of you that doesn't do justice in properly portraying just how terrible he was for the club, but let me just show you a few stats. Under Bartomeu, Barcelona had a 1.15 billion euro debt, a negative net worth of 383 million euros, was paying players that were extremely underwhelming with a total salary expense that was 3% greater than the amount of money the club actually generated, mainly due to his overall incompetence. Barcelona's current president Juan Laporta wasn't shy at all when he placed 100% of the blame on his predecessor. And I've seen many Messi haters call him greedy or unloyal for leaving Barcelona. But the truth is that Messi actually offered half of his entire salary to be reduced just so he could help the club with their financial situation. So clearly the love for Barcelona was there. Messi was willing to give half his salary. And I know he might be extremely wealthy, but you do have to realize that half of a person's salary is no small deal, no matter how much money you make. Unfortunately, due to La Liga rules and regulations about paying players their proper value and other wage laws for athletes, Messi's generous offer was not allowed to be accepted by Barcelona. And because the club was in such financial ruin, they couldn't come close to paying him the sufficient amount. So ultimately, they had to part ways. Now trust me, I know many of you have a lot to say about Messi's choice with PSG. It's no secret that the league is often mentioned, especially by social media trolls, as a quote-unquote farmers league. And regardless if you agree with that statement or not, the fact remains that of the major European leagues, Ligue 1 has the least competition and lowest ranking level of play compared to the others. Myself, and I'm sure many others, hope to see Messi play in the Premier League, where he could finally show that he could succeed and perform at a high-level club competition with a completely different play style and culture. I mean, we saw Cristiano Ronaldo do it, and Ronaldo doubters always point to his lower goal scoring during his time at Man United. If Messi went to the Premier League and outperformed Ronaldo in that aspect, the debate between the two would be a lot more concrete in the eyes of many, as one of the biggest criticisms towards Messi's career is how he was sheltered by Barcelona and didn't want to leave or face any other different style of competition. And while he did go on and face a new challenge, could you really call playing for PSG a big challenge? Now, other big clubs like Man City had already signed other players during the transfer transfer window for, honestly, way too much money. So there weren't that many clubs who could pay the tremendous price tag of Lionel Messi. That's where PSG came in. They had the money, they had some of Messi's national teammates like Di Maria and Icardi, as well as former Barcelona teammates like Neymar, of course. Plus, they were the only logical destination in Ligue 1 for a player like Messi. But why did PSG even want Messi in the first place? I mean, I know. The answer is quite obvious. Why wouldn't you want Messi on your team? But they certainly didn't need him to win the Ligue 1, and they're definitely good enough to make it deep into the Champions League. With Messi next time around, it's almost guaranteed that they go all the way. Signing Messi wasn't just something that helped their club's success, but their club finances as well. PSG's president says the world would be shocked by Messi's jersey sale numbers alone, with some sources saying PSG sold as much as 850,000 jerseys in a single day, which is more revenue than they're even paying Messi for a year, which is absolutely insane. So at the very least, PSG's president Nasser Al-Khelaifi was much smarter than Bartomeu when handling a club's finances. PSG knew for a fact that the extra viewership and revenue they would get for simply having Messi on their squad was just too much for them to not capitalize on. And sometimes, especially in football, that's just how it is. Clubs need to focus on making money so they can acquire better talent and perform well. The financial aspect of football is just as important for them as the desire to win. Speaking of which, a lesson you should learn from this is that keeping track of your finances is one of the most important skills that you should learn that would definitely help you out in the future. Just like PSG is really good with making money and investing in future opportunities, today's sponsor Skillshare could help you do the exact same. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes for inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, designers, musicians, photographers, and much more. No matter what your passion or interests are, Skillshare has you covered with their premium classes that are always 100% ad-free, so you can learn and focus on your creative path. Footballers and football clubs are extremely wealthy, know how to manage their money, and invest all the time. Lately, I've been learning a lot about business and investing, especially from Zach Hartley's stock market course. I've really learned a lot along the way to help me make trades like this, which might not be that big, but definitely feels great. I mean, who doesn't like money or watching their money grow? And they offer so much more that I've yet to learn. So the first 1,000 of you guys to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of premium membership with Skillshare, so you can explore your creativity and gain some life-changing knowledge and skills. So make sure you check it out before it's too late. Alright, now hopefully all the confusion and denial you've been experiencing surrounding Messi's shocking move is behind you. Let's look at the bigger picture now. What does Messi joining PSG mean for football as a whole? Let's keep it completely honest. An attack consisting of Lionel Messi, Neymar, Kylian Mbappe, and let's even throw Di Maria's name into the mix, is already, without a doubt, the most deadly attack in football right now. If I could, I would pawn everything I own and bet that a healthy PSG will win the Ligue 1 title. I mean, PSG even has a man who I think is the most underrated goalkeeper in football, and someone I just recently made a video about, Keylor Navas. So if PSG was actually smart enough to play him, it would be even worse for the competition. Not to mention, they bolstered their defense by signing Sergio Ramos, who is still one of the best defenders in the world even if he's been injured lately. And I just love watching Ramos and Messi interact and be friendly after so many years of fierce rivalry in Spain. After all, Messi of all people should understand just how good Ramos is defensively, more than any of us ever could. I'm sure it's on the expectations on many of your minds that PSG has to win the Champions League with Messi. They were so close the past 2 seasons, so surely with one of the greatest to ever play football added to their team, they have to go all the way. We all know how deadly Messi and Neymar can be when they're playing together, but when you add Kylian Mbappe, whose legs are much more fresh and who is already a generational talent, it just becomes way too much for a defense to handle. Messi wouldn't even need to be the primary goal scorer. He could simply facilitate and let the younger guys score the easy goals. Assuming Kylian Mbappe stays with PSG, I honestly don't think there's much chance for other teams to take them down. The offense would just be too much to handle. And it's not like there's any other super team in football right now that could rival them. Even at the peak of Barcelona's glory, a mighty Real Madrid squad was always there and matches could always go either way. Now, you don't really have any other clubs that you could have a good amount of confidence in to beat PSG, except maybe Bayern Munich. But again, adding Messi just gives a completely unfair advantage to an already great squad. If you think about it, Messi joining PSG is a lot like when Kevin Durant decided to join the 73-9 Golden State Warriors after they had just lost the NBA Finals. That's probably the closest comparison in sports I could give you right now. But that's the thing. So many people expect them to go all the way and win everything. But what happens if they don't? We always wanted to see Messi play in a tougher league, but what would many think if PSG's season is underwhelming? If Messi played in the Premier League, it would be a lot more understandable if his team doesn't have so much success. While I believe Messi will still do what he's always done, I just think he and his club have a lot more pressure on them to perform and win, which if they don't will give a lot more fuel to the negativity and hate that they're already receiving if it doesn't go according to plan. And many of you know, while I do respect and honor Messi's greatness, he's just never been really my favorite player. But one thing is for sure, it certainly is a strange feeling looking at Messi in a PSG jersey. Times have really changed and a new era of football is slowly coming. So make sure you grasp every moment of it and appreciate players and the time they have to play. But needless to say, I'm excited to see what will happen this season. That's gonna do it for me today, guys. Let me know what you think about this whole situation in the comments below. Was Messi taking the easy way out? Do you support his decision? How successful will PSG be? I'd love to see all your thoughts, as I did run a poll and most of you did think that PSG would win the Champions League. Anyways, leave a like if you enjoyed. It really is the best way to support the channel, and subscribe and click the notification bell or YouTube will never let you know when I upload. But thank you guys for watching. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate all the love and support, and I'll see you in the next one.